Happy holidays to everyone far and wide. It's time for the most anticipated special event of the season, the RFK Holiday Showdown, the night where we celebrate the accomplishments of the 2023 NASCAR season for the RFK Racing team in a very festive mood. A season where both the number 6 and the number 17 cars made it deep into the playoffs, ultimately seeing Chris Buescher win 3 races. One of those races was right here at Michigan International Speedway, and we can't wait to bring 80 laps of stage racing to you all right now on Roush Performance Esports and live on Podium Esports for the very first time. I'm Joey Atterbury, and joined in the booth tonight is the main man in charge, Jack Roush Jr. We've also got Trevor Wright with us again. Eddie Smith is going to be working pit road and race control tonight for us. And we've got Ryan Bauer bringing you this awesome-looking broadcast as our producer. Throughout the night, we're going to be highlighting some great moments of the RFK Racing team, even bringing you an interview or two from some of the team members, and probably the coolest part of all, give away some free RFK Racing items. And Trevor, let's dive into that right now. First of all, how have you been, and what have you got for us?
Man, I have been great. And I'm even better because guess what? I get to play Santa Claus tonight. I get to give away gifts. And let me just tell you guys, we have some awesome gifts. I'm going to tell you exactly how you could take home one of these awesome 5 prizes. You heard that right. 5 prizes we're going to be giving away. So our friends over at RFK, their partners provided us a Fastenal hat, a BuildSubmarines.com hat, a Castro Edge hat, and get ready. These are the big prizes, guys. A 5th Third Bank race-worn gloves by Chris Buescher, and we're giving away a BK Solomon Plumbing race-worn fire suit. And that BK is not only the number 1 guy, Brad Kozlowski. So we're giving away some awesome prizes. All you have to do is like, comment, and share this broadcast to have a chance at winning any of these 5 prizes.
It's pretty awesome. I know that the paints on some of the competitors are also being pretty festive tonight. So not only are we going to be giving away some cool stuff to you, the viewers, with the Santa hat on, but also to the competitors out there. And Jack, I'm happy to have you in here as well. I mentioned we had an awesome season for the 2023 RFK Racing team, and that's exactly why we're here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, Joey, you can't keep me out of these races. They're so much fun. But, with all that we've done with esports and iRacing, looking at what we've done with RFK this year, really, we could not let this season go by without celebrating it here. Chris has won 3 rounds in NASCAR, Richmond, here at Michigan, and Daytona. And Brad, although he didn't end up closing the deal for a victory this season, he had several races where he was dominant, really from the very beginning of the season. Just really awesome, and excited to see our RFK have so much momentum through this season and going into next. And we're here to celebrate it tonight and have a little fun.
Exactly why we're here. And playing Santa, as Trevor was saying. But to let everybody know, we do have the cars gridded up on the racetrack, so we are going to be bringing you green flag action very soon. Speaking of that starting grid, your NASCAR RFK drivers taking that top spot. Timmy Holmes in that number 6 car, your pole sitter. Nick Lights, also a real-world NASCAR driver, sitting second place. Teddy Lowendick in third place, another NASCAR pro here for RFK Racing, and Caden Honeycutt in that fourth place position. Lynn Kinchlow in fifth, Chase Schaefer in sixth, Dylan Basin seventh, David Levine in eighth, Lucas Ray ninth, and Aaron Baum in 10th, Jack.
In 11th, we have Kyle Patti, 12th, Joshua Chin. In 13th, we have Julio Villalobos Jr. In 14th, Justin Mitchell. In 15th, Devin Schmikar. I'm sure I did not pronounce that correctly. In 16th, Oliver Turan. 17th, Robbie Jones. In 18th, Nick Larson. 19th, Nick Roten. And 20th, Joe Nagy.
And we'll get through these rest ones real quick here. Connor Truman, 21st. Matt Lady in 22nd. RFK Racing member right there. Colin Curlis, 23rd. Mo Perry, 24th. Joseph Meal in 25th. Dennis Ansman, 26th. Brad Wren. Chris Gutierrez. Jim Johnson. Holler out to Jim Johnson there in the 36th. Zach Buchanan in the number 30. And the rest of the cars are going to be scrolling through on your screen here, because it looks like we do have the pace car. Oh, I'm sorry. Looks like we do have one more lap that's going to be extended here, thanks to Eddie Smith in our race control room. So we will be able to get you all of these cars and names on the screen right here. We will have one more pace lap. And Jack, I know that Trevor was working with you, I believe, and I'm not sure if you're even aware of this yet, but maybe Trevor can pitch in while we have a full lap here. I believe one of these giveaways is going to be a Jack's pick.
That's a surprise to me. I guess Trevor really is Santa this year.
That's right. I'm bringing all types of surprises tonight. But Jack, I'm going to have you choose the car of your liking to actually take home one of those partner hats, whether it's the Castrol hat, the Fastenal hat, or that BuildSubmarine.com hat. So be taking a close look at these cars, pick your favorite car, and be sure to let me know. Just send me a text.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of awesome liveries out here. The guys and girls have obviously worked very hard to dress up their cars, and it should be exciting.
And none of this would be possible without some of our partners. Got to thank BuildSubmarines.com, and they are coming off their first season of partnership with RFK Racing. Blue Forge Alliance is the nonprofit integrator for the U.S. Navy Submarines Industrial Base Program, aimed at promoting SIB careers and reinvigorating America's manufacturing workforce through its BuildSubmarines.com initiative. This unique partnership is aimed at showcasing a wide variety of desirable careers across the nation to NASCAR's large, passionate fan base. BuildSubmarines.com, and we have got the pace car coming off of pit road. That means one thing, folks. Barney's got the green flag, and we are racing for the RFK Holiday Showdown here at Michigan International Speedway. It is the number 6 of Timmy Holmes. Nick Lights on the outside of the number 15. Caden Honeycutt also already working his way up into that second place position, but look at this. The field is really streaming out 3, 4, even 5 wide here on the first lap.
Oh yeah, this track in particular is super wide, as you guys have seen. Not sure how many of you guys are familiar with this track, but man, it's unbelievable how many cars you can get across the field on this.
We are going to be seeing it all day long. Like you were saying, Jack, you can pretty much put your car anywhere on this racetrack, and you see that we're working lap number 2 of 80. Oh, just maybe a little bit of contact between the 15 and the 17 in turn number 2. That is between Caden Honeycutt and Nick Lights up front. But look at all of these cars. We didn't really mention it here, but Trevor, we have 48 cars taking the green flag.
That is absolutely, that's, I think, record-breaking, definitely on the Roush Performance Esports side, to see that many cars start a race here, and that's super exciting to see that. It's also really exciting to see those Fords up front. They must have taken a couple, the playbook from the RFK team, because they just got off a record year here in 2023, which both of their Ford Mustangs both made the playoffs, and that's huge for them, it was really cool to see. So I think if Holmes and Honeycutt here took it out of the playbook, they might have a pretty solid finish.
As the competitors dived off down into turn number 3 here, I want to talk about our race analysis just very, very quickly here as we are getting going. I mentioned we're doing 80 laps here at Michigan tonight, but we are replicating the stage races. So at the end of lap 20, we're going to have a yellow flag. That's the end of stage 1. At the end of lap 40, we're going to have another yellow flag. That's the end of stage 2. And then we are going to race it out for 40 laps at the end of it. So if you are thinking stage racing here, folks, first stage, 20 laps, second stage, 20 laps, third stage, 40 laps, that is our 80-lap race here at Michigan International Speedway. And Jack, I'm not surprised seeing these 2 drivers out front. Now, these are the eNASCAR RFK Racing team drivers with Timmy Holmes and Caden Honeycutt. These are the best of the best on the iRacing service, and looks to me, they're paired up and running away.
Yeah, it's kind of what we were talking about, seeing the 6 and 17 at the front of the field. A little bit of deja vu here.
It is. It definitely is. And you see him actually doing a little bit of serpentine here at the back straight of Michigan International Speedway. The speeds are incredibly fast. You see him down there on the lower left-hand side of your screen. We were doing 190 miles an hour going into turn number 3 there. Let's see what we get up to before we reach into turn number 1. I'm seeing 197, 198. Are they going to break 200? That is the lead car punching the air 200 miles an hour with somebody breathing down your neck. And that's Caden Honeycutt right there in the number 17, Trevor.
Yeah, and it's one thing, the 17 and the 6 car, they're not only fast in the race, but actually on the race team this year, both the 17 and the 6 car completely excelled on pit road. You saw the number 17 car finish in the season in the 6th spot, which is way better than the 2022 standing. And then also the 6 crew earned the Mechanics Wear Most Valuable Pit Crew Award, and they were ranking 4th overall in pit crews. So not only fast on the track, but also fast on pit lane.
Something else to note, I want to give a little bit of a shout out to our 3rd place runner who's actually trying to overtake for 2nd place right now. That is Nick Lights. Now, if you all recognize this name, yes, he is a real-world NASCAR driver, competes in the Craftsman Truck Series. Also, I believe, has an Xfinity start, also competes in the weekly series over there. So this is a real-world driver, kind of putting all of that skill on display here. He's looking down to the inside here into turn number 1, going to try to take away that 2nd place position and just using all of these lanes here at Michigan. But Jack, you were talking about the lanes earlier. When I watch these cars, they're actually not going all the way down to the white line in turns 1 and 2. They're kind of using more of the middle low groove to carry the momentum.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is a very high-speed track. I'm not actually exactly sure, but my guess is that these guys are probably not using a whole lot of brake here. There really is no sharp turns for sure. It's all out speed, and it's kind of fitting that this is the NASCAR track in the Motor City. For me, this is a track I've considered my home NASCAR track forever, and we've had a lot of victories here over the years, and pretty cool to celebrate this tonight.
I know we'll get some awesome shots of these great liveries that we've been seeing on the screen. We're only working lap 9 of 80 right now, so we got to catch our breath every now and then, but I think under the yellow flag is going to be the greatest way to really see some of these paint schemes that the drivers have worked so hard on. Remember, this is the RFK Holiday Showdown, so the more that these drivers have brought out their festive spirit, are showing their part, or I would say our partners off, the more they're going to get the screen time and potentially Jack, maybe even get that Jack pick of getting a hat. Oh, look at that, almost contact there between second and third.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough competition both on the track and also for those Christmas lights for sure.
I believe we were riding on board with Teddy Lowendick right there. And Trevor, does that name ring a bell? Ted's raced with us for quite some time.
It sure does. I think you probably recognize that name a little bit more. I remember you guys definitely had some fun out on the track, but it was always fun seeing Ted out there hanging with us, and it's awesome to see him with a solid running here in 6th place. But hey, I'll tell you one thing. I did one just a little bit better. This place has a special place in my heart. It was actually my first ever iRacing win. And I actually took out none other than Chad Knaus for the win in turn 3. I pushed him to the wall and took the checkered flag. So I'm loving MIS.
Well, that is definitely a story right there as we ride on board with Lynn Kinchlow. Now, if you all are seeing some of these picture-in-picture pop up on the screen, what that is from their own sim room. What Lynn has done, and I believe Chris Papa has done the same exact thing, is basically they've got a point of view camera seeing exactly what they are, bird's eye view from their own sim room. Really, really neat to see here. And Jack, I tell you what, you blink once, we're already working lap 13. We're halfway through stage 1.
Oh yeah, the speeds here are just unbelievable. Moves really fast, and like you said, that personally, I love the camera perspective that we just saw. I think that what the drivers are doing is putting that point of view cam on the bill of a hat, and it just really makes it seem like you're right there and it's real. It's pretty awesome.
It is really cool. It just kind of adds that touch of reality. We always try to get that immersion factor here in the sim. And what do the drivers do to try to replicate being inside of a race car? And not only do they try to be inside of a race car, but now it's extended to the point that, hey, you know what? I'm going to actually show everybody what it's like being inside of the sim racing rig. It's pretty cool. It's just taking it one step further. And 3 wide, we're here at Michigan coming out of turn number 2. Jack, we were talking about the multiple lanes, but one of the coolest parts about the multiple lanes out here, given the high speeds, you actually get to search around the racetrack because you have to find that clean air.
Oh yeah, and this is, Joey, you and I are road racers. We're used to being on a track with, barely 2 lanes in some places. This is a completely different story. I mean, I don't think you could even really block someone here. It's again, with this being the Motor City, this track, there's a lot to be said here for having the motor. And while, this is the sim world, power is a key part of this. Air is another key part of it, how you manage the draft and also how you keep that momentum.
Want to give a big shout out to this right here, Castrol. The iconic high-performance lubricant brand has served as the official oil partner of RFK since 2020. Underneath the BP umbrella, Castrol has served as a primary partner on both RFK's number 6 and number 17 entries in multiple events in the last 4 seasons. They will be on Brad Keselowski's number 6 Ford for the 2024 Daytona 500 in their 5th season of partnership with the team. Needless to say, if you have never heard of Castrol Edge, you're probably sleeping under a rock out there, Trevor.
Yeah, you are not kidding. And what's pretty neat is to be able to see these partners actually utilized on the Roush Performance side. That is definitely a recommended oil of choice when you're running our high horsepower, 750 horsepower Roush Supercharged. And just let me tell you, they have been an awesome partner, and look forward to seeing the future with RFK. But hey, if you can't, or you're not running the oil, you could, as a driver, potentially win a hat. But for the viewers, guys, all you have to do is like, comment, and share to have your chance at winning a fifth third bank race-worn gloves by Chris Buescher and a race-worn fire suit, Solomon Plumbing fire suit, Brad Kozlowski. All you have to do right now is just like, comment, and share, and you're going to have your chance at taking one of these prizes home, and we will announce it at the end of the race.
Is everybody listening? That is race-worn gloves by Chris Buescher. Not only that, but a whole dang fire suit coming down the chimney. Now, hopefully it doesn't have any coal markings on it, but that is so gosh dang cool. Thank you to RFK Racing for bringing these amazing giveaways here for us. So if you are watching, like, comment, share, do everything needed so you can possibly win one of these giveaways. And ultimately, it is up to Santa Right over here, Trevor, to decide when those gloves are going to be given away, when that fire suit is going to be given away. It'll be really interesting, but you have to be here no matter what in order to claim your prize. Well, lap 19 of 80, so these drivers will be going around one more time here. Remember, it is at the end of lap 20 that the stage caution will come out, and we will be getting a very, very short full course yellow. We are not throwing any yellow flags here in stage 1 and 2, and I gotta say, Jack, the racing has been extremely good, and I think the big shocker is this car right here, the number 8. Dylan Basin has worked his way all the way up into second.
Oh yeah, these guys are running very clean. I have seen a little bit of contact, but nothing malicious. These guys are just running very fast and trying to get their quick line, and stuff happens out there. You know what it's like.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely know what it's like, and there, the leaders cross the line and they are entering turn number 1, so we'll be getting the yellow flag out here, and that signals the end of stage 1 here for the RFK Holiday Showdown. Remember, it is 3 stages in total. The first stage, lap 20. Second stage ends at lap 40, and then we go racing for 40 more laps. And what we are going to do real fast while they catch the pace car and get into pit road for their pit stops, we are going to take a quick break, but be right back with more green flag action.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the RFK Holiday Showdown. broadcast right here on Roush Performance Esports and also Podium Esports for the very first time. And thank you to our partners, one of them being Fastenal, specializing in business supply chains. Fastenal has been a partner for 14 seasons with RFK in 2024. Fastenal helps its business partners strengthen their own supply chains, remove unnecessary costs, and focus more resources on what they do best. With multiple in-market locations and several regional distribution services, Fastenal is a leader in industrial products across the country. And if you guys have never been to a Fastenal, I highly urge you to go in there. They carry all sorts of really cool stuff. I know that when I was working at the shop in Virginia, we had a Fastenal just down the street, and it was always great to be able to go and grab just whatever we needed over there. So if you've never heard of Fastenal, or if you see the sign as you drive by one of the shops, definitely go stop by in there, filled with all sorts of hardware and whatnot. Make sure you can get all of your garage products done out there too. Well, we've had pit stops. Jack, we really haven't talked at all about any sort of strategy on the racetrack per se, and I don't think that we're going to necessarily see a whole lot, but I think we do maybe have Chris Papa coming back down pit road. These stage breaks are an opportunity to not only catch your breath, but also come down, get some fresh tires, and fill up that tank of gas.
Yeah, this will be interesting. You know, calling this race is first for me, quite honestly. Obviously, I've watched NASCAR my whole life, but never been in the commentating booth for one of these events yet. I'm suspecting there won't be a ton of strategy because these races are, you know, so short. It wouldn't make sense to come in for tires during these short stints. Even the 40 lap, I think, is going to be, you know, pretty straightforward. But as you mentioned, between the stages, I think you'll see most of your stops.
And Trevor, it's been a couple of events since you've been back here on the esports channel. I know that you were playing Santa here today, but what have you thought about the racing so far?
Man, I have always been a fan of oval racing. Truly, I think that's something that's always had my heart. Being in the NASCAR world, being a tire changer, seeing this, it's pretty neat to always kind of connect the roots, also from the Roush Performance team to the RFK team. So I'm excited watching this racing. I think it's going to get really exciting towards the end. Look at all these drivers, guys. Like, that's so cool to see people from all over, and we're able to meet all right here. So I'm super pumped for it.
I love the Brady Bunch of videos, but we are getting the green flag back on the racetrack here. Looks like we are standing on the gas for the RFK Holiday Showdown one more time. Got to accelerate up through the gears as they get into turn number one. And I think the biggest change in the landscape so far is that front row on the restart did not include either Caden Honeycutt or Timmy Holmes, but I see the number 6 already going down to the low side, try to take away some of that position, and I see now they are filed back into second and third, but it is the number 8 car, Dylan Basin, out front, Jack.
Yeah, it's you know, fairly calm. You know, the guys are pushing really hard, but you see a lot of respect, a lot of space for the most part. I'm curious to see what the end of stage 3 will be like at the very end when, you know, everything counts and they're going for that win. Will it be as safe and, you know, will there be space like we're seeing? I don't know. What's your guess?
No, Jack, I'm jumping in. No. I mean, let me ask you, you know, when you're here 3 wide on lap 26, do you think that the competitors are going to give extra room at the end of stage 3? I don't think so.
No, absolutely not.
Look at this, Jack, 4 wide as we're coming across the start and finish line. We talked about it earlier, just the lanes at Michigan. We started with 48 cars. We still have 47 out there on the racetrack, and they are using every single one of those lanes.
Oh yeah, it's, you know, I love watching racing like this. I don't like seeing people take each other out, you know, on purpose. Whether in real life or esports, you know, it's kind of bad sportsmanship. You know, I love watching the skill of these drivers, you know, driving at 200 miles an hour in some cases less than a foot from each other, and they're able to rarely touch each other. I'm not going to say they never touch each other, but yeah, just very impressed, very happy with how this event is going.
Shout out, props to all of you, the drivers, because you are the ones that are putting it on right now, creating this awesome racing here on the Podium Esports channel, as well as Roush Performance Esports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and more. Watching the number 8 car, Dylan Basin, actually kind of run away just a little bit. And we are in stage number 2. So if that giveaway is going to be coming up at all, you got to be here. You got to be present in order to win it. Trevor, has Santa landed on the roof yet, or is he still en route? Is the GPS calculated?
Santa's still sitting here eating his warm cookies and milk. And he's kind of shaking his head because, guys, we have over 60 live viewers right now. People coming in and out, and I only see 13 shares on the Roush Performance, 3 shares on the RFK, and only 2 shares on the Roush Performance Esports page. So, guys, you must like, comment, and share to have your chance at winning the Fifth Third Bank Race Worn Gloves by Chris Buescher and Brad Kozlowski's Race Worn Solomon Plumbing Race Fire Suit. Guys, these are huge prizes. I need to see those likes, those comments, and the shares. Or guess what? Santa's going to tell Rudolph to head back to the old house there. So
the North Pole.
He's going back to the stable. I'm getting ready to unhook him.
Well, we're already halfway through stage number 2. Stage number 2 kind of has a little bit of a formality. It's actually a little bit shorter just because of those yellow flag laps at the end of stage number 1. But looks to me like we've got our familiar front 2 back out here. There's a reason why these guys come and stink up the show all the time. They are the fastest out there. Caden Honeycutt, Timmy Holmes running 1 and 2. But while we have a few laps here, let's try to jump through some of the field. Maybe we can start with some of these onboard cameras, looking at Kyle Patey running inside of the top 10 right here. Kyle's another one of these Roush Esports regulars. Usually shows up to a lot of the off-road events, but doing pretty well here on the oval side of things too. And a very, very festive holiday sweater that he was wearing inside of that one. Check out some of these other ones. Jack, Paul Slavonic, although he's wearing the Santa hat, he's on pit road.
Oh man, the hat did not bring the magic or good luck, I guess. But I gotta say, Joey, it's awesome to see the mix of drivers that we have. These amazing oval track racers, the pros that have come in, but also our standard esports guys that have been with us across dirt racing, rally, tons of road racing, and that's a very tough thing to be good at all those disciplines. It's really cool to see these guys out here throwing it out there. And some of the old familiars are maybe not at the front of the field, but they're giving it all they have, and it's just awesome to see.
This car right here, pretty silly. That's a Peugeot out there. You see that, Jack?
That is pretty funny.
That is Brett Pancari out here running a little bit further in the back of the field with the Princess Daisy livery, but that is not a Ford, that is not a Chevy, that is not a Toyota, that is a Peugeot NASCAR. As we look at Dennis Ansman running an awesome holiday theme with the Fastenal, the Castrol livery. Make sure we get everybody on the screen as we scroll through all of these drivers that have really logged into that driver camera link, showing us from inside of their sim room their festive spirit. Here's Nick Roten, and I love this one. Look at Trevor. Look at all these cars he's got lined up, and he's wearing the Chris Buescher shirt.
Well, the only thing I saw, Nick, you need to make your bed. But other than that, he does have an awesome car. But guys, really what I'm looking for, because guess what? I also get to give away a hat for the Roush Performance Award. And I'm looking for a square R somewhere on one of these cars.
That's going to be a tough one. And, I might square that one on my shoulders here as we look at Corey Vervinkt, our natural iRacing scapegoat over here. If you guys have any complaints about iRacing whatsoever, point them at Corey Vervinkt. He is one of their employees over there, and he is responsible for everything on the service. No, I'm just kidding. Corey is one of our regular competitors. Yes, he does work for iRacing on the broadcast team, and he is responsible for a lot of the streams that you see out there, and that is Daryl Young, another one of our competitors logged in the number 71 car out here. And Trevor, I do want to bring you back in here because you had mentioned not only the viewers get a prize, but potentially these drivers are getting a prize too, and you're kind of getting a good look at the people that have logged in.
I am, and yeah, and I'm looking. I got my eye on a couple cars for the Roush Performance Award that I'm going to definitely give a hat to. I was looking at that BuildSubmarines.com car that was a little bit farther there in the back of the pack. I just love the look of that car. It's one of my favorites. I've seen the diecast car down there at RFK. I got to get my hands on it. So right now, you know what? We're not even going to wait. We're going to give away our first gift right there to the number 60 car, BuildSubmarines.com.
Yes. Now I do want to warn you just a little bit here, Trevor. Matt Laity is an RFK Racing team member.
Oh, so he gets all the gear. All right, Matt, I'm sorry. I'll have to, we'll get him something else here.
So I know that Matt was rocking the RFK Racing team hat. Matt has also competed in a lot of our Roush Performance esports events in the past, but he is an RFK Racing team member. He travels, he's part of the team out there, so he is a big part of that RFK Racing team. And this is Teddy Lowendick here in the number 72, not only rocking the festive lights around the neck, but the full chrome paint scheme with the partners, Jack.
Yeah, so Ted is one of those drivers that has been with us for so long. This is awesome. He's broken into the top 10. Ted is a stellar road racer as well. You know, I can say that from experience. And man, he's given the heat out there on this oval track as well.
Looks like we did have a problem right in front of Ted with one of our front-running cars. We stay green on the racetrack because we're just about to end stage number 2 here, but I can report to you it was Chase Schaefer that had a problem coming up out of turn number 4. I wonder if we can actually cue that up in replay since we have about a lap and a half here remaining. If not, no big deal. But it looks like Chase Schaefer was involved in an accident, and unfortunately another car came and collected him through the infield, as well as we watch the number 17 of Caden Honeycutt. He's going to be coming around collecting that second stage victory. This is what happened right here. This is the moment that I was talking to you about. Jack, watch this. The purple number 93 gets into the bumper of the number 99.
Yeah, it's tough to say if that was on purpose or if he was just trying to draft him. I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt there, but unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, it is unfortunate. We just have to call it how it is here, Jack. And, you know, I don't think it was malicious, like you were saying, but maybe just a little bit of contact coming up out of turn number 4. Turned the number 99 around, and we have the full course yellow on the racetrack to signal the end of stage number 2. It is still those RFK Racing NASCAR drivers up front. Caden Honeycutt and Timmy Holmes running 1 and 2. And what we're going to do while we're under yellow flag, take one more quick break and be right back with the racing action.
My name is Nicholas Patterson. I'm the jackman for the number 17 of Chris Buescher and starting my 7th season this year. Richmond was definitely my favorite race this year because the weight of pit stops was heavier than other races. So when we came down, the pressure to perform and the excitement surrounding the opportunity to perform at a high level inside, you know, the top 5, top 10 as the race went on was just electric. It was so cool. And for us to be able to go out there and just stop after stop after stop, just throw down, it was so cool. And it just leaves you hungry for more. One of the larger differences between 2022 and 2023 was that we were able to get upgraded facilities. Some people don't believe in it, but I believe in it, is that when you look good, you play good. And of course, Brad putting a lot of hard hours and whatnot into having the right personnel was a huge upgrade, I would say. And then having the facilities that we have now gave us a place of belonging and gave us a place to call our spot whenever we came to the shop. Some of the success that we experienced this year was super exciting because everybody was excited for each other. You know, we weren't super excited about our personal part of the accomplishment, but everybody was excited to see each other succeeding, and all the work that we've all put in together, and all the times where it didn't go right, and we still support each other. We didn't yell at each other. You know, all of that matters and adds up, and then you see the success, and it's like, man, it's so sweet. Only been doing this for 6 years, but of that 6 years, this past year was the first year that I've been Cup only. So for 5 years, I was, you know, ARCA, Truck, Xfinity Cup. So I've been a part of a lot of different teams and a lot of different series. And a lot of times, you know, you want fast pit stops, you want top tier pit stops, but then you got a guy that doesn't understand that the tire has to be within this spot, and it has to be rolled just this way with the tape at this spot for me to optimally do my job. Our guys really bought in. They came down, they practiced weekly with us, and they gave us some of the best pit support that I've ever been able to experience. Without them, we could not have been as fast and consistent as we were. Where would I rank the 2023 RFK season for the number 17? I would say we were probably a B+. And I say B+ because we had opportunities to capitalize in the playoffs where we did not. And, you know, you make it to the round of 8. I think that's why I give it the plus, because, you know, we're so close to that Final Four. I think a Final Four would be like an A, and then, you know, you win the championship, it's probably an A+. I don't think any of us want to repeat a B+. I think we all would like to be in that A category, and I think that we all believe that it's very possible. And I think that the guys that we have on the car from top to bottom are more than capable of accomplishing that.
That was an interview with one of the RFK Racing team members. Always really cool to bridge that gap between the virtual world and the real world. And Trevor, you've got some news for us.
Yeah, you know, Nick, even though you didn't make your bed, I think it's only right with the Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas card there. I love it. I'm going to hook you up, and I'm going to make you our first winner of a partner hat. I think we might, let's see here, I'm going to give you the Fast and All hat. You got the Chris Buescher t-shirt going on. We're going to get you that Fast and All hat. And so congratulations, Nick, and best of luck. Ho, ho, ho.
Yippee-ki-yay, as we are going to change it from a yellow flag to a green flag as the field rounds out of turn number 4. I see maybe a little bit of a shakeup up at the front. Lynn Kinchlow is on the front row, as well as Caden Honeycutt. Timmy Holmes is on the second row, and there we go. Barney waves that green flag. Stand on the loud pedal one more time. We are racing stage number 3 here at the RFK Holiday Showdown. After this, we settle it all. See who is going to collect that checkered flag, as it looks like one of the cars spinning down towards the infield, but we stay green. 36 laps remaining, and Jack 3 wide going down the back straightaway for the lead.
Yeah, well, before we get into this race, I just gotta say, iRacing has the hardest working flagman in the business. I've never seen a flagman work that hard.
Barney is always on top of it, but check out this race up front, and now Dylan is actually pushing Caden Honeycutt out front. We were 4 wide for the lead coming off at turn number 4, or that number 8 decided to get hooked up with the number 17 and really extend that gap out in the front there. And Trevor, not only did Santa bring hats, but I believe I just heard Rudolph on the roof.
Yeah, Rudolph is here. and he's got something a little stinky. He's got race-worn gloves by Chris Buescher. Sorry, Chris, I apologize. I could only imagine, though. They're going to smell like rubber and sweat and all things good racing. So we are going to go ahead and give away these race-worn gloves, third race-worn gloves by Chris Buescher, and we're going to give it away right now to a current viewer that has liked, commented, and shared. And we are choosing, so this is going to be all platforms, Roush Performance Esports, Roush Performance, as well as the RFK shares as well. And here we go. We got Mason Hodgson. Mason Hodgson will be taking home these race-worn third Chris Buescher gloves. So congratulations, Mason, and smell them for us and tell us what they smell like. Merry Christmas.
If you're out there watching and you have been picked as a winner, make sure to send us a message here on the Roush Performance Esports channel or on the Roush Performance channel. Make sure to send us a message with who you are, and that way we can get your address and all the contact information. Make sure we get those prizes to you. Riding on board with Nate Stewart, getting a little bit of a slide coming out of turn number 4 here. And we haven't mentioned Nate Stewart at all here in the broadcast, but Jack, I know you aren't familiar with this name, but Nate does a lot of oval racing on iRacing, does a lot of league racing on Podium Esports. He is definitely another one of these incredibly fast oval specialists.
Yeah, like I said, you know, gosh, the talent out here, you can just see it in the way these guys are racing. It's awesome to see great oval track racers like Nate out here. You know, thank you to you, Nate, and all you guys.
Tell you what, he just had to worry about the 62, that bright green car. It's Dennis Sprecher out there. He almost got into that quarter panel, but thankfully was able to keep it off of there. It looks like kind of the face of the race right now. Got about a 10-car breakaway in this lead pack out front. Got a little bit of tire smoke going down the back straightaway here, but then looks like after about, I guess it's about 6 or 7 cars, have a small gap here. But I would say it really is split up into 2 big packs. The front pack that's kind of moving away. And Jack, then we have a second pack a little bit further back, but it doesn't matter if you're up here inside the top 15 or back there for 20th spot. You know that sometimes the hardest racing is actually further in the back.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's funny, Joey, not to change the topic here, but as I'm watching this and everything that you just said, man, the realism of iRacing is unbelievable. You know, what we're seeing as far as, you know, the side drafting right in front of us right now, or, you know, the drafting sucking up right up to the back of another car and gaining speed. I've even seen some of the drivers do the maneuver that's not a blocking move, but where you start waving the car back and forth to break up the draft. All of that is a factor here, and it's really interesting to see how much this is very much like a race in the real world.
Speaking of a race in the real world, I mean, look at this. You're spot on. I think that iRacing has nailed it, especially here at Michigan. Just the multiple grooves that you can race, all the different clean air that you have to go and search there and find, and 3 wide going into turn number 3. That's the 27 of Connor Truman all the way down low. Timmy Holmes, Lynn Kinchlow, and this is the view from Nick Lights in the number 15 car. Jack, you were just mentioning kind of the momentum, the different lanes, and that draft effect. Well, here in Michigan, that top lane, it can really carry the top speed down those straightaways.
Yeah, you know, they're able to carry that speed without having to turn so sharp. You know, very quick track, like we talked about, and yeah, it's exhilarating watching this right now. I'm pretty much speechless.
It actually looks like our pit road reporter got to thank Eddie Smith. He has got one of our interviews, our live interviews ready. We're going to bring Corey Vervinkt into the broadcast room, and Corey is too wide coming up out of turn number 4, and usually you race open wheel cars. How is this 3,000-pound plus stock car doing for you?
Oh man, it's definitely not as nimble as the stuff I usually drive, so it's been a learning curve out here most of the way, and this thing's I mean, you can run any lane and make it work, so it's really hanging on for dear life out here.
Well, Corey, I gotta say thank you very much for coming and participating with us on the Roush Performance Esports channel. Good luck out there, and how have you been enjoying the race so far?
You know, Michigan's probably one of my favorite tracks to run when it comes to stock cars whenever I do get in these, so I was really excited when it was announced that it was Michigan. You know, I've been driving my way through the field as best I can. I mean, I'm 3 laps down. I got caught up in a wreck pretty early. Someone came back up the track and clipped me as I was trying to avoid, and I got a meatball, so I've been a couple laps down ever since, but I've just been racing for fun ever since. Been making some good moves, but except for, you know, hitting the wall there.
We saw that coming out of turn number 2, but
you know, I just had to give it a little smooch. Let know I knew I was there.
You got to make friends with it sometimes, and that way they know not to grab you and spin you around, right?
Exactly.
Well, Joey, you know they usually wait till the yellow is to interview the drivers, not interview them while they're trying to race.
Well, I know that Corey is in here. He is always loving to get the attention. And Corey, just thank you for coming and racing with us, being a part of iRacing, having you here with us as we get a little bit of a scrap up front. But thank you so much for racing.
Anytime, man. Just anytime you guys need an extra set of tires on the track, you know where to find me.
Well, that was Corey Vervinkt, driver of the number 12 from Speedway, Indiana, over there.
Yes, sir.
He is running around right now in the back in 43rd position as we have a serious race on our hands up front. 24 laps to go, so the time is winding down and the things are heating up out front. Trevor, how's it going over there, bud? Have you maybe thought of anybody else for one of these hats?
Yeah, you know what? So we still have the Christmas best livery. And Jack, we still have yours as well as far as to give away the hats. And we still have the Solomon Plumbing race-worn fire suit. So I think we need to be searching the grid here for a Christmas-themed car. And Jack, you better be keeping your eyes open because I think we need to give away those hats. And then just as we take the checkered, I will announce who is taking home the Solomon Plumbing race-worn fire suit.
Well, looks like time is running out, coming to 22 laps to go. And oh my goodness, just more and more close racing happening here at the RFK Holiday Showdown. And I want to draw it back to the successes of RFK racing throughout the year. Jack, is there any one that necessarily stands out in your mind?
You know, actually Michigan is right up there, you know, but at the same time, you know, I'm not going to complain. You know, every race that you get a victory at is a great race. You know, is it better than another one? Maybe, maybe not. You know, but man, you know, seeing Chris win in Michigan this year was just super exciting and just very cool.
And speaking of Chris and this win here at Michigan, not only did he win here at Michigan, but he also won at Richmond. He also won at Daytona, the Coke 0400. And he was also the fans' vote for the 2023 Most Improved Driver. Chris Buescher is one heck of a dude. If you've never met him, go follow him. Please become a fan of Chris Buescher. I've known this guy for over 10 years, and Jack, I want to bring you back in here, but Chris is such a hard worker that when he was a teenager, he actually volunteered and then worked on our road race team, the Grand Am team, doing whatever he could to just stay in racing and learn.
Oh yeah, it was awesome to see, you know, Chris on our road racing team as a tire changer. He was actually very good at that. Definitely an advantage for our team, as you remember, Joey. But, you know, Chris is super humble, super hardworking. I've never seen any arrogance or ego about him. At the same time, he's fiercely competitive, and you cannot rattle Chris. Just watch any of his races, or he's participated quite a few times in our esports stuff, and I've never once seen him get rattled or worn out. He will just keep digging forever until he gets the victory.
I totally agree, and he's just one of the coolest characters out there. And quite honestly, I give him some pokes in the ribs here when he comes to join the esports stuff that I probably shouldn't. But he's always such a great player out here. He just wants to have fun. He wants to race everything. And I think the best part about Chris, you go and look through his racing career, is that he doesn't tear up cars. He doesn't get involved in big wrecks. Sure, he went tumbling end over end at Daytona, but that wasn't necessarily his fault. And that's really why these cars finish so well in the championship. Another highlight, I think, of the 2023 RFK racing season, Trevor, is that both of the cars, they went deep into the playoffs, and then ultimately the championship standings, they finished 7th and 8th, way up there in terms of the end of the year.
Yeah, it has been a huge win for the RFK team. And actually, Jack, myself, and the marketing team just actually got off our first episode of the You Don't Know Jack podcast, where we talked about the wins of just the Roush company as a whole and RFK specifically. I mean, the new team owner, Brad Keselowski, joined the list of NASCAR's top 75 greatest drivers right here in 2023. So that is a huge win. And not only that, he went on to finish 8th in the point standings after a very impressive playoff run. So just big wins all the way around for the Roush team.
And let's keep talking about that number 6 car, right? Because not only the driver, Brad Keselowski, did a phenomenal job. He will find victory lane here very soon. But also that pit crew, okay? The number 6 earned the Mechanics Wear Most Valuable Pit Crew Award in 2023, ranking 4th in overall pit crew average. So not only is the driver getting it done, but the RFK racing team, all aspects of it, running on all cylinders. I mentioned the number 6 car having a good pit team, but the number 17 also finished the season 6 spots better than they did in 2022. So if you're just looking at overall improvement between the drivers, between the pit crews, all of the performance at RFK Racing, Jack, it continues to improve, and what I think is the resurgence of RFK in NASCAR.
Yeah, I'm biased. I grew up around racing, but it's like, in some ways, it is like the other great sports that we all enjoy. But I also think it's incredibly unique. Granted, this is the simulated world. We don't have the real crew out on the pit lane like we do in a real race. In the real world, this would not just be 40 athletes. It's 40 groups of teams, with the pit crew being truly great athletes, the ones that excel. And then you have all the people at the shop that work so hard, and the talent that's put into all of it. It's each of the vehicles in a race is got just an immense amount of human effort and energy behind it. You can't. It's always hard even telling that whole story. If you're not embedded in racing, it's a little hard to really appreciate how much effort goes into it.
I think that's one thing that I try to tell people about racing, because everybody wants to be a racing car driver. And sure, that is awesome. That is where all the glory is. That is the coolest job in the world. But folks, there is so many jobs within racing. You can be social media, you can be tire changer, there's design, there's graphics, there is all sorts of stuff, truck drivers, catering. There are so many roles within these NASCAR teams, and not even NASCAR teams, but road racing teams. So I highly urge anybody, if you are interested in becoming a member of the sport, go out there, get involved in your local events, and find out how you can be one of these pit crew members. Find out how you can be involved in these sports, as we are 4 wide going into turn number 1. This is the race for what is kind of the 9th, 10th, 11th place position. We're riding on board with Lynn Kinchlow inside the number 44 here, Trevor. Things are definitely spicing up here towards the end. I know that You gave away the the Chris Buescher gloves, and I think we're still waiting on that fire suit to come down the chimney, yeah?
Yeah, the fire suit is packed away tight in my bag, and I'm ready to pull it out as soon as that checkered flag hits. But yeah, Jack and I still have 2 more hats to give away to drivers. We've already given away the race-worn 5th third bank race-worn gloves by Chris Buescher. So, Jack, have you had a choice yet here?
I don't know. It's a little bit up in the air, but I gotta say, I'm seeing some things out there I've never seen before. I'm kind of did not get a clear view of it, but I think I might be seeing an alien invasion of our RFK Christmas here.
We might need to get a closer look.
I think I saw that too out there a little bit earlier, and I believe it might be the number 95 car, if it is still out there and running. I'm not sure. Yes, I believe Jimmy Bouvier still out there, and he's running inside the 8th place position. Jack, let's try to see if we can get a shot of this number 95 car. Is this the car you were thinking of?
That is what I thought I saw. Not in real life, but just here on the track.
Welcome to Earth. Yes, that is aliens. That is Santa. I also see some Christmas lights on there, the American flag on top. And I actually want to say shout out to Jimmy B here, because Jimmy B comes to us from across the Atlantic. He is a French member here on iRacing, so he is up way late racing over there across the pond, Jack.
Yeah, that's impressive. What is it there, about 2 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, you're asking me to do math live on air?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't.
That's a pop quiz, Joey. Sorry, you failed.
No way I would be able to do that on you. So, well, hey, Jimmy Bouvier, Jimmy B, you are Jack Roush Jr.'s pick, so you will be getting a hat. And Trevor, did you decide which hat Jimmy B will be getting?
Jimmy B, I think we're going to go ahead and go with that BuildSubmarines.com hat. We'll get some exposure for those guys across the pond. I like that. And yes, please do not ask me what time it is there. But congratulations on it.
Well, with only 8 laps remaining, and it's not even that because they are coming out of turn number 4, we are going to click it down to 7 laps. And folks, we can have a yellow flag out here, but we just haven't seen any sort of wreck on the racetrack. A GWC is available, and to show you how good these drivers are, right? Caden Honeycutt, our leader, 7,000 plus I rating. Dylan Basin, who is hounding him, 6,000 I rating. Timmy Holmes, 6,800. I see even back here, Nick Lights, 5,995. So these drivers up front, not only are some of them NASCAR drivers, but they are competing at the highest levels here on iRacing. And Jack, you are a real world racing car driver. You know how difficult the virtual world can be to navigate.
Yeah, that's a serious group of drivers up there. Very, very experienced. And I can only imagine the amount of hours it's taken them to develop that iRating and develop their skills like they have.
Wall and Trevor, with about 5.5 laps left remaining, I think now is your final time to tell everybody what they need to do. How do they share? How do they comment? What can they do to win that?
That's right. So we still have that Brad Keselowski, Solomon Plumbing race-worn fire suit. All you have to do is like, comment, and share. We are currently looking at who is sharing, who is commenting. I have my eyes on you. Yes, if you are hearing this, I am watching you. Well, not literally, but I can see when you like, when you comment, when you share. We are going to be giving away that race-worn fire suit as soon as that checkered flag drops. So hope you are sticking around and enjoying the race. But also, Joey, we need to give away that holiday-themed hat where, let's see, I'm looking at, I believe it's the 15 car. Let's jump over to the 15 car here. I think that's the one. We are going holiday theme. I'm digging the colors. It's got like that RFK feel / Christmas feel. We're going with it. So they are, oh, and guess what? It's going to match their Castrol Edge hat. I think that's all kind of theming together, so that's perfect for the 15 car there of
Nick
well,
Lights.
I'm not even going to try that name, but congratulations.
Yeah, and then Nick is, like I was mentioning, a real-world racing driver. So he's really not only putting that Harpoon Designs paint scheme to use out there, but also showing some pretty cool skill. And here we go, folks. We are going to switch over into race commentator mode because we have got 3 laps remaining here at Michigan International Speedway to settle it out for the RFK Holiday Showdown. It is all between really these top 5 drivers: Caden Honeycutt, Dylan Basin, Devin Sprecher, Timmy Holmes, and even consider Connor Truman and probably even Jimmy B potentially in this mix here. But coming out of turn number 4, I think the story has really been that number 8 car, our leader, Dylan Basin. He has argued amongst the front all day long. Watch out for Caden Honeycutt. He is one of those eNASCAR pros. And then Jack, that bright green car, Devin Sprecher, he was actually the fastest car in practice yesterday.
Yeah, it's hard to predict how this is going to end up. You know, the draft, we're seeing cars still shifting around up here. Man, what a tight race.
Diving it off into turn number 3. We are going to see the white flag this time around. We have not had any sort of yellows, and there's the 17 smacks the wall coming off of turn number 4. That might spell the end of it for Caden Honeycutt. So it is all Devin Sprecher and Dylan Basin up front as they dive down turn number 1. Side by side, the 62, that is Devin on the outside, Dylan in the number 8 car on the inside, both rocking those NASCAR next-gen Ford Mustangs. The 62 uses that high line, the momentum, and now he gets turned off of the back straightaway by Dylan Basin. You see the 17 of Caden Honeycutt come up and give a huge shove going into 17, and now more contact coming up out of 4. It is going to be the number 6 car, your eNASCAR RFK racing driver, Timmy Holmes, taking the checkered flag. What a race here, and talk about saving all of the action for the very, very last lap. The elbows came out, and Jack, you were wondering, are they going to play nice at the end of stage 3? Well, you just saw.
Yeah, that didn't look very nice.
No, it did not look very nice, but as a racing car driver, do you blame them for going for the win?
No, they gave it all they had. You know, you always like to see, you know, clean racing, but that was intense. Yeah, what a great show.
We are going to watch the number 6, our winner, Timmy Holmes, burn it down. And this is your last chance, folks. Remember, share this broadcast, comment on it right now, do everything that Santa Wright said for your chance at winning that Brad Keselowski worn fire suit. And we'll be right back with your official post-race interviews and your full results.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
You just watched the RFK Holiday Showdown live on Roush Performance Esports and Podium Esports for the very first time. It was the number 6 car of Timmy Holmes, your winner. Connor Truman in the number 27 coming home second. Jimmy B, one of our giveaway winners, in third. Nate Stewart fourth. Nick Lights in fifth. Teddy Lowendick in sixth. Joseph Neal in seventh. Devin Sprecher after getting turned on the back straightaway. I really got a feel for that number 62. Kind of got done dirty there on the back straightaway. Julio Villalobos Jr. in ninth. Nathan Kiani in 10th. Jack.
11th was Kyle Paty. 12th, Lucas Ray. 13th, Dylan Basin. 14th, Daryl Young. 15th, Lynn Kincioli.
Kinchlow.
Apologies. I know I pronounced that wrong. In 16th, Paul Wilson. 17th, Brett Pancari. In 18th, Justin Mitchell. In 19th, Oliver Tran. In 20th, Nick Roten.
And in 21st place, we got Joe Nagy back here. Brad Wren in 22nd. Colin Curlis, 23rd. Nick Larson, 24th. Aaron Baum, 25th. Matt Lady here in 26th place. And Dan Owens is actually going to be your last car that is going to finish on the lead lap back there in 27th. Unfortunately, Caden Honeycutt, after smacking the wall with 1 lap to go, will finish back in 28th place. Oscar Enriquez in 29th, and Paul Slobonic, another one of our Roush Performance Esports regulars, back here in 30th, Jack.
In 31st, Matt Dominic. 32nd, Dennis Ansman. In 33rd, Chris Papa. 34th, Joshua Chin. 35th, Kyle White. 36th, Morpheus Perry. In 37th, Alexander Fitfinsky. Man, that's a familiar name. 38th, Robbie Jones. 39th, Sean Smith. And 40th, Dave Levine.
And we still have more on the page. Unfortunately, all of the drivers that you see right here did not finish. They did not take the checkered flag, but 48 cars is what we had show up to the RFK Holiday Showdown here on the Roush Performance Esports channel. I think we are just waiting for our winner. I believe Timmy Holmes has just gotten in our interview room. We're going to bring him down in here, see if we can talk with the winner himself. Timmy, congratulations on winning the RFK Holiday Showdown.
Appreciate it, guys.
Well, first of all, thank you for coming and racing here with us at Roush Performance Esports. What did you think of the event?
It was a good time. I enjoyed it. Came in here to have some fun, and that's what we did.
Now, you guys are kind of the famous drivers, if you will, here. You guys are the RFK eNASCAR drivers. However, it looked like you guys had your hands full out there with some serious competition. How was that?
Yeah, me and Caden ran up front most of the time. There was definitely some tough competition. I think it was Dylan Basin and a couple others ran up there most of the race right there with us. But they definitely did not give it to us easy, and they ended up getting together at the end. But yeah, there was tough competition out there still.
Well, before I let you go, Timmy, I just want to say once again, thank you for coming and participating, racing with us. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to all the guys at RFK, Castrol, just everybody that helped put it on. You guys for broadcasting it, and that's it.
Well, that was your winner, Timmy Holmes, driving the number 6 car here tonight. And actually looks like we've got the rest of our podium here. Gonna see if Connor Truman is available to be drugged down here into this interview room. Get our second place finisher right on board with these interviews. And while we wait on that, Trevor, I know that you've been busy collecting everything over there. How's it going in terms of that Brad Keselowski race suit giveaway?
Yep. So we have over 33 entries for the Brad Keselowski Solomon Plumbing race worn fire suit. And guys, I actually had to put that fire suit on the last lap because things got absolutely heated. What a finish. But it's time for me to come down the chimney and give away the grand prize tonight. The biggest present there was, and we have the winner of the Brad Keselowski Solomon Plumbing race worn fire suit, Katie Behringer. Katie Behringer, congratulations. Go ahead and message us, whether it's on the esports channel or the Roush Performance page, and we'll go ahead and get your information and get you that fire suit. Congratulations, everyone, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you to all of the winners for watching, participating, and interacting with our broadcast. And it looks like we do have our second place finisher here. Looks like Connor Truman has joined us in the booth here. Connor, congratulations on your finish tonight.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
So what did you think of racing here in the RFK Holiday Showdown and with Roush Performance Esports for the very first time?
Yeah, it was a really exciting event to partake in. So I just want to thank everybody at RFK and at Roush Performance and everybody on the esports side for putting this on. It was nice to race with all these guys.
Well, what did you think of that last lap? Did you think you were going to be in second place at the end of it all? Were you expecting the mayhem?
Unfortunately, I was expecting something to happen there at the end. I was just trying to stay in contention because with these kind of races, and especially in the Coke Series, you never know what could happen. So I was just trying to be able to put myself in that position and stuff, possibly being in second and possibly having a chance at the win, but just trying to make sure I brought home a car across the finish line.
Well, I think you did a fantastic job out there, Connor. You got to be proud of this second place finish. Is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I would just like to thank all my friends and family, my girlfriend. We actually have our 6-year anniversary tomorrow, so that'll be fun. And then I just wanted to thank everybody at RFK and at Roush Performance and all the esports guys and everybody a part of this. Thanks for putting it on, and hope everybody has a good Christmas and New Year's.
That was Connor Truman, driver of the number 27, finishing second place here today at the RFK Holiday Showdown. And we have time for one more really, really fast interview out here. We are going to bring in Nate Stewart since Jimmy B, our third place finisher, is not here. Nate, thank you for coming and racing with us. And what did you think of the event?
It was a lot of fun. I'm not very preponderant, I guess we could say, of next gens at Michigan just because I'm not a fan of how they drive. But I would say with the talent spread in the field today, I certainly had a blast. I messed up qualifying and ended up starting 43rd, and then was able to drive all the way up to 4th, which was really, really fun. That was probably some of the most fun I've had on iRacing in a while. Just being able to carve through the field and carve through the field, pass cars, run multiple lines. That was a lot of fun. It really was.
Oh, well, I'm happy that you got to come out and race here with us. I'm happy that you got to have some fun. And I got to ask you, if Roush Performance Esports does more oval stuff in the future, maybe even a league, does that interest a driver like you?
I would say so. Yeah. I'd say as long as nothing conflicts time-wise with me, I would definitely be looking forward to doing some more stuff hosted by Roush.
Well, Nate, thank you for coming out and racing here. I know you've had a weekend full of 24-hour racing, a lot of sim racing going on in your life right now. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, firstly, just thank you to Roush Performance for putting this event on. Thank you guys for broadcasting. Big thank you to 1023 Graphics for the paint scheme y'all saw tonight. It's a great one, and soon we'll be retiring this and moving on to the new bodies and cup. Rexford Engineering, Penguin RC Simulation, Speed Visions, Dead Zone Racing, Apex Action Photography. I almost forgot myself. Just a lot of people, everyone that supports me, everyone that watched my stream tonight, and everyone that watched the broadcast tonight. Thank y'all. And yeah, hopefully there's more of this in the future for sure.
Well, that was the driver of the number 4, Nate Stewart, coming home conveniently in 4th place position. And Jack, Trevor, I want to bring you both in here one final time here. Get your closing thoughts. Jack, you first. What did you think of tonight?
It was a blast, man. I think you may see some more oval track racing.
I agree. I think that the racing was awesome. I think especially the top half of the field was just non-stop back and forth. So you're right. I think the competition was good, and maybe even looking into 2024, I know there's plenty of future plans with Roush Performance Esports. Maybe it'll include an oval league.
Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. We do have some big stuff coming for sure that's already planned. So, man, the future is bright with Roush Esports. So stay tuned, guys.
And Santa, thank you so much, Santa, right over here for staying on top of it and making sure all of our viewers get to take home some pretty cool stuff.
Man, it is, that's one thing I love to absolutely do is give away things, especially around the holiday season. Super excited to do that. But hey guys, if you didn't have a chance to take home an awesome present, well guess what? It's not too late to head over to either rfkshop.com and get your latest 2023 and coming 2024 merch from the RFK guys, or head over to roushgear.com, pick up the latest Roush Performance gear. And heck, if you weren't on that naughty list and you were on the nice list, then you need to head over to roushperformance.com and you can pull a Roush F-150 under your tree or a supercharger. So, hey, even if you're on the naughty nice, you can, or the naughty list, you can head over to roushperformance.com still. But no, I want to thank everyone, and yeah, we had a blast tonight.
And not only the stuff that Trevor was mentioning, but go follow RFK Racing. I think I saw that their 12 Days of Roushmas is about to start over there. So even more cool stuff being given away. And thanks to Roush Performance and RFK Racing for all of their support, as well as our amazing partners for this event. BuildSubmarines.com, Castrol, Fastenal, and Podium Esports. We couldn't do it without our team behind the scenes. That includes Jack, Trevor, Ryan, and Eddie working our race control here tonight. Remember, follow along with the Roush Performance Esports Discord and Facebook pages to stay up to date with all of our future events. And as we wrap this up, I just want to say thank you to all of our competitors and to you too, our viewers, for making 2023 such a great year. Happy holidays, everyone. Ho, ho, ho. Yippee-ki-yay. And have a great New Year's. I'll see you at the finish line in 2024.